All right, let's get right into Chapter 4, where we're going to tackle one of the most powerful and honestly one of the most destructive tools in the emotional arsenal, guilt. We're talking guilt and guilt trips.
So the source material just drops this bombshell on us right from the start. We usually think of guilt as just this heavy feeling inside us, something we have to deal with on our own, right? But what we're being asked to see here is totally different. It's not passive. It's an active weapon.
So, okay, if guilt is the weapon, then the guilt trip is how it's delivered. You know, it's the whole package. The words, the tone, the size, all designed to make that weapon hit its target and make you believe, deep down, that you're the one who's messed up. And you really have to let this one sink in. According to the source, a guilt trip is not some little misunderstanding. It's not passive-aggressive. It's a direct, intentional, hostile attack, period. Now, this is where it gets really kind of sneaky. The goal isn't just for them to make you feel bad. No, that's too simple. The goal is to get you to take the weapon from them and use it on yourself. They want to set off your own inner critic, so you're the one doing all the work of feeling terrible for them. So, look, if you're being attacked, you have to know what the attack looks like, right? You've got to be able to recognize it. So think of this next part as our field guide to guilt trip tactics, so you can spot them happening in real time. First up, the absolute classic, emotional blackmail. This one goes right for the heart. It basically says, your action or inaction is proof of how you feel about me. If you don't do the thing they want, well then, you obviously don't care. It's a really manipulative way to corner you. And then we have playing the victim. This is where the other person casts themselves as the poor, suffering soul who's being hurt by you. Your perfectly reasonable boundary is twisted into an act of cruelty, and it's designed to hijack your empathy and use it against you. Oh yeah, the debt trap. Bringing up past favors. This is all about turning a relationship into a ledger sheet. Every nice thing they ever did for you suddenly wasn't a gift. It was a loan. And now they're here to collect, trying to make you feel like a deadbeat for not paying up. And then there's gaslighting. And honestly, this might be the most damaging one, because it's not just attacking your actions, it's attacking your reality. It's meant to make you question your own mind. Am I feeling selfish? Am I being unreasonable? That's the whole point, to make you doubt yourself. So, just pause for a second. Did any of these hit a little too close to home? Because just being able to put a name to these things, to see the pattern, that's the absolute first step to taking their power away. Okay, so we've looked at the weapon, we've analyzed the tactics. Now let's talk about the defense, because the source doesn't just point out the problem, it gives us a really powerful solution. So for all those different tactics we just went through, the victim playing, the gaslighting, all of it, the source says they all boil down to one single thing, one emotion, fear. The other person is afraid. Afraid of not getting their way, afraid of losing control, afraid of something.
And, well, if the root problem is always fear, then the root solution has to be its direct opposite, doesn't it? According to our source material, the only real antidote to fear is love.
Now, hold on. This does not mean you need to feel love for the person who's guilt-tripping you. Not at all. The source is very specific. In this situation, love means turning your focus inward. It means choosing to remember your own fundamental innocence. A guilt trip is trying to convince you that you're guilty. The solution is to refuse to believe it.
This is so important to get. A guilt trip is designed to hijack your feelings. You might feel a surge of guilt, but that feeling is just a symptom of the attack. It is not proof that you've done anything wrong. The source says your reality, the unchangeable truth, is your innocence, which it calls love. Feelings come and go, but that truth is constant.
Okay, so knowing all this is great, but how do you actually use it? How do we turn this inner state of remembering innocence into a real-world, practical response when you're in the middle of a conversation? The very first step, the rule of engagement, is this: zero tolerance. You don't negotiate with a guilt trip. You don't debate it. The source is crystal clear on this. You do not allow it to happen. Not now, not ever. And here it is. Here is your script. You don't need to argue. You don't need to explain yourself. You state the boundary and you state the consequence. It's direct, it's powerful, and it hands the control right back to you. So the whole protocol is actually incredibly simple. Just 3 steps. First, you identify it. You now know what to look for. Second, you state your boundary using that script. And third, and this is key, you disengage immediately. And disengage isn't a metaphor. It means you take real physical action. You literally hang up the phone. You turn around and walk out of the room. You put your phone down and you do not respond to that text. The action is what enforces the boundary. It's you proving that you meant what you said. And this really gets to the heart of it all. This whole thing, it's not just about learning a new communication trick. It's about a fundamental shift in your thinking. It's about realizing that protecting your own peace of mind isn't selfish. It's your right. So what really becomes possible for you when you truly, deeply believe that?